it takes years to become an overnight success. The aggregation of marginal gains, that is 1% plus 1% plus 1%, will lead to eventual exponential growth. Good things come to those who work while they wait.
So I recently got a question about what are the differences between regular dips and dips that you do for street lifting or weighted dips to move the most amount of weight. So I'm gonna try my best to explain the differences right now. First, we'll talk about normal dips. So essentially, they probably look like this. The idea is that we are inducing quite a bit of stretch in our chest here because we're not trying to move a lot of weight and we're dealing generally with hypertrophy. We get a good stretch in the chest here, and so there's not a lot of forward lean with normal dips. You'll normally see people that are pretty upright and they will be in somewhat of a shoulder elevated position, and we're going here. And so with this, I get a good deal of stretch in my chest. I get a lot of work in the triceps as well, and the shoulders are not a huge part of the equation. But when we switch over to street lifting dips or weighted dips, really where the goal is to move as much weight as possible, there are a few cues that we want to start to work on. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is that when we step out onto the bar, we're going to go into shoulder depression. So here, pushing my shoulders away from my ears. So I'm here all the way up at the top, fully activated. And what we want to do is we're leading with our shoulders, and from there we drive through. And so we have a bit more of a forward lean. Boom. And so when it comes to weighted dips and dips that we're doing for the most amount of weight as possible for things like street lifting, 1 rep max, the idea is now that I want to incorporate my shoulders so that I can limit the actual amount of stretch that's in my chest. So then the less stretch that is in my chest, when I get to the bottom of the range of motion, I am in a stronger position to push through from there. And so now still get the same amount of work in the triceps, but right now we are limiting the stretch on the chest because the idea is that at the bottom of that range of motion, we don't want to be at an elongated position of the chest muscles, the pec muscles, because we're weaker at that position to be able to push the most amount of weight out of the hole. So now if I load my shoulders instead at the bottom of the range of motion, I start, so let's go here. We're gonna lead through. I start, I'm pushing through my shoulders here, and then eventually I can open up and allow my chest to do the rest. But the idea is that at the bottom of the range of motion, we're starting with the actual shoulders. The shoulders are pushing through. Once I get to a certain point, I can allow my chest to take care of the rest of it. And so let's do a couple more reps and I'll show you the difference and then we'll get into this workout. So again, these are normal dips. We're doing generally high reps, staying pretty upright. And again, this is for, these are dips, street lifting form or weighted calisthenics, forward lean. And again, we want elbows into our side. We want our elbows also to be vertical so they're stacked above our wrists. And so we're not flaring from there. And so that's pretty much it. All right, let's throw some weight on. This is another pro tip right here. When you're doing dips and you got the weights stacked, what you're going to want to do, grab some dumbbells and then you can put your plates in between that so the plates stay upright. You can stand right up there and do your dips. So another quick tip about those dips that I was just talking about, so you can use either form that you want. I just find that shoulder protraction definitely helps to be able to move the weight. One thing I think I forgot to mention with the dips is there's the difference between protraction and retraction of the shoulders. So if I'm retracting the shoulders, my shoulders are rolled back versus protraction, like I'm pushing something away. So with our street lifting dips, we want to go into shoulder protraction. So we should be like here when we're doing our dips, right? And so that helps us allow the shoulder to do more of the work versus retraction, we're allowing the chest to actually get more stretch. And the same actually applies when we're doing the bench press. When you're doing the bench press, one of the forms or methods that you can use is actually when you're setting up, you're rolling the shoulders back. You're taking the shoulders really out of the equation. So then big chest, and from there, we're pressing. And so same applies to dips. So you probably noticed that I'm mixing in a couple movements that are more so like statics, calisthenics versus actual street lifting. Right now, I have enough time before the competition to continue working on statics, which is where I started, to progress on that while I'm progressing with my street lifting. And then as we get closer to the competition, then we sort of taper in and close in. So we start with a broad range of movements, and then we go into more specificity as we actually move towards the competition. So we have one movement left for the day, technically two. It's a superset. We're going overhead press plus squats. So we're gonna knock that out. Let's keep going. All right, so we got some meal prep for breakfast. Trying out this whole grain brown rice today. On top of, we have eggs here and chicken sausage, as well as some peppers, onions, whole 9 yards. So we will see how this goes. Knock this down, we gotta get to work, so let's go. So I usually don't check my program before I start warming up. I'll usually warm up, then check my phone and see what I have for today. But today, made the decision to check it out before I started. Found out that for chin-ups today, we have a top single at 73 kg or 160 pounds, and I'm hyped because we were hitting this back at Nationals, and it was pretty slow. I really want to see how it's going to look today, so I'm hyped. We're coming into this workout with some intensity. We're going to make this move like it never has before. Let's go. $160 was not bad at all. It moved a little slower than I would like it to, but this is the first time that I've touched that weight since Nationals. Now we're doing it in chin-ups, and we have 15 or 16 weeks or so to improve that, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement. 70, that was like 70, what is that, 73 kg? I think 80 kg is definitely there, which is a good sign, and so from here we build. And so that's all it is at the end of the day. We're making progress, and we got plenty of time, so we're gonna keep moving. All right, on to the back downs and continuing with this workout. So overall, I think I would give chin-ups about a B+ today. They're feeling pretty smooth right now, which is a good thing, and we have a lot of room to grow, which love to see. And so at this point, really, we just got to keep pushing, and we're gonna make some stuff happen. We got more than 15 weeks or so, as I was saying a little bit earlier, and we are going to push and push and push and make sure we set a record. So let's get it. Definitely happy with lat raises. They have been getting a lot better, which is cool. Lats are getting stronger. That's good stuff, so that's cool.
The aggregation of marginal gains will lead to eventual exponential growth.